right now, there seems to be an excess of everything, of trends, of you should wear this and you shouldn't wear this, and these colors work for you and these colors don't work for you. And skinny jeans are out and high-rise jeans are out and everyone's wearing jelly flats and you should no longer wear wedge sneakers. And it's just all a lot. And I think what I talk about with people in their career often is, do you have firmly planted roots? Like if you imagine yourself as a tree and your roots grow really deep and really strong, you cannot be swayed by the wind. And that is relevant in your career in terms of knowing yourself, knowing what works for you, knowing what work styles are best, what your strengths are. And so you can survive heavy winds and not get uprooted in those moments. Okay, so why did I go down this rabbit hole in the first place? I would say first is I was feeling a sense of maybe overwhelm around just all the trends that are out there, like I mentioned, and the cycle of buying new stuff. And I think it was in this podcast, I'll link it in the show notes, but there's a podcast episode called Interrupting Consumerism. And I actually think I heard this somewhere else. It probably was on TikTok, I'll be honest. But the idea that nowadays, when we need something, we can buy it and it can show up in an hour, versus how might we have done that in the past? If I need something that I'm not going to use every day, maybe I need a steamer just for an event or something. Instead of buying one and having it delivered, I might go to my neighbors and say like, hey, do you guys have a steamer? And use theirs, right? Or borrow things or share things with friends. And so the idea that consumerism and kind of this like excessive consumerism actually pulls us away from community was a really interesting one to me. And then also thinking about what brands do I support, especially as we are in a political climate that is very tumultuous. And I want my dollars to go to companies that support the beliefs that I do and that I feel good about shopping in. And so with ethical shopping and boycotts, and then just this idea of like consumerism versus kind of minimalism, I just have been feeling this desire to have less stuff. And a lot of this started when I quit my job and went back to school and started a business. And my lifestyle is just dramatically different in terms of, well, everything. But financially speaking, there are a lot of things that I've cut out that I used to spend money on that I don't feel the need to spend money on now. And I think this can go a little further where I'm just kind of in this mode of cleaning up the stuff that I don't really need. So thinking about what does style have to do with my values and how do I align that better was a big one. I would definitely check out that podcast episode. It just was full of really interesting ideas and things that I hadn't thought about. But the other one is my lifestyle is just very different. I used to work in a corporate office. I used to go to client meetings and wear, more business formal. And obviously we all went through the pandemic and we wear a lot of leisure stuff and we're not working from an office every day. But for me too, I'm, now in a new decade. I'm in my 40s and I have new needs for my career. I now I'm facilitating client workshops, or maybe I'm doing keynote speaking on a stage or going to events to network and talk about what I do. And so those things feel like they require a slightly different type of outfit for me. And so I just really wanted to understand, what does that look like now? How do I want to show up? How do I want to present myself and kind of stand for my brand even in a way in my business? And then the last one is that I really had this kind of narrative in my head about what great style looks like. And to me, it was a lot of pieces or layering a lot of things or having a lot of accessories or having a lot of statement items. And like great style means it's like this really bold statement. And I don't think that that's really the case, but that's kind of what I had internalized. And so to me, the idea of having great style was like, this feels really hard. I have to make a lot of decisions. It's very complicated. It's not accessible. I had to put a lot of stuff on in the morning and I just didn't like that. And my approach to everything is always finding a way to do it that works for me. And so I said, why not here? There probably is another way to go about this that doesn't feel hard, doesn't feel like making a lot more decisions, and it doesn't feel like I have to be someone I'm not or figure out a way to fit myself into this box of what I maybe believe that great style looks like. And so it was kind of a new challenge for me to take on.